All right. Yeah, man. I did a video on Flex Wheeler about a week or so ago, and then I found out about Ronnie Coleman. Man, Ronnie Coleman was another guy that I had really admired. Man, it was a guy putting his time and effort into something kind of worthwhile. Built his own business. You know what I mean? I was really happy for him. Plus, I felt like, man, the guy was huge, man. The guy was good looking as far as, bodybuilding was the situation. He was, the standard. And him, Dorian Yates, Flex, a couple of other guys, man, but I followed their career, Kevin Leveron. I followed their careers, but, I just didn't have the genes to make it, to even become close to looking like something like that. But, I thought these guys were, good representatives of, um, the bodybuilding world. And, they were showing that, the brotherhood could, start their own business, become mainstream, make some money, and do some good things, man. The stuff you don't hear about is Ronnie Coleman talking to kids, and Flex, same thing. I mean, you don't hear about these guys encouraging kids to do their best and stuff like that. All you hear about is the bad side of them and what's happened to them. I really liked Ronnie Coleman. I still do. I mean, I just followed him more when I was younger. But Ronnie Coleman paid a heavy price he's paying a heavy price on the back end for looking like this. And the thing that people are not putting out there, and nobody wants to, put it out there, is that he was using, steroids at the time. Well, all of them were. I mean, everybody was doing it to compete. So it's not like he was just the only one. But I think he went, and he was the hardest one that probably went in the most and did the most to get this big. He said himself he went from, 215 to almost 300 pounds. You know what I mean? And so, I don't care how many times you eat in a day. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to jump that high unless, something else is going on and you're still active. You're not going to do that unless something's going on. So anyway, and it's not to bash Ronnie, man. I mean, like I said, I like the guy. But if we're going to tell it so that people don't fall into the same trap, then we got to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? We got to tell the whole thing. And I'm sure he would too, if he didn't have them endorsement deals and all that. So I understand why he can't bring it up. So I'm not saying nothing bad about him. But I'm going to say it because I'm trying to help our young brothers too. And I know he would too if he could do more. But, man, Ronnie's in bad shape right now. So let's talk about what happened to Ronnie. Well, Ronnie would train. First of all, he ate 6 meals a day. He would say he would get up in the middle of the night and eat. And he would eat, a couple times at the job, a couple times at home. He had to do all this eating just to bulk up to that big physique, that framework. He had to be disciplined to do that. So he said he had a lot of help from his family. His mom would cook a lot of his meals, and his sister would do a lot of his work too, so that he could be just free to just train and get yourself together for these competitions, Mr. Olympia competition, other competitions. However, he definitely was on the needle at some point, and I think that's what may have. I don't know for sure. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows for sure, but I think that's what may have helped to break down his body at this point, because he was doing good, man. He was the biggest. I mean, not the big. Well, he was the best. He had won Mr. Olympia 4 times, so I was doing something right. He had the nice symmetry and everything there. You know, he was a good looking guy, you know what I mean? But stuff started to break down. He started popping these discs in his back, started tearing up his hips, started tearing all that weight, tearing up his hips, tearing up his knees, and, you know, tearing up everything. So it was just a bad situation. And Ronnie Coleman had everything, man. He had his own, he had, supplement line, he had clothing line, he had so many different businesses, making money from personal appearances. I mean, he was making so much money, he had to leave his job as a police officer down there in Texas because he was just making so much money. And, you know, life was good. Life was good, right? Well, now he's doing all this heavy training and he starts popping his back, popping the disc in his back. And eventually they had to go in and start, you know, fusing his spine together. So let's go over what's going on with Ronnie now, man. Ronnie has a fused spine. Okay. I'll try to put it up here on the screen here. He has a fused spine. And because he's trying to move around and all of the discs are fused together, they had to put little cages around his disc, around his spine, to keep the disc from sliding out of place. Imagine that. Imagine you walking around with cages around your spine to keep your disc from coming out of place. He has had something like 13 or 14 surgeries on his back, with all the fusions, and surgery on his neck, he said. Man, I mean, and that's not even counting the 2 titanium hips that he has. He has titanium hips. I mean, the guy can barely move, barely walk. He's still strong though. Don't get it twisted. He's still strong. He can still hit that weight. But as far as mobility, man, his mobility is really bad. And but he's still in good spirits. Even though all of that, man, he's still thankful to be alive and everything. He just says he has pain 24/7, you know. And wow, I really try to focus on the fact that, you know, in our older age, we don't want to be in constant pain. Yeah, you're gonna be in a little pain, but you don't want to be in constant pain. And brother Ronnie is in some serious pain. So if you're a praying person, man, pray for the brother, man, and so that something can happen where all them cages can be taken off his spine, and he can be lifted from some of that pain, man. 'Cause I can only imagine walking around with cages in your spine, and I'm gonna try to show all that stuff to you here. I'm gonna try to show you the hips, show you everything out here so you can see that the man is not in good shape right now as far as mobility. He's in good spirits, but as far as mobility. So what's the takeaway? What's the takeaway from this situation with Ronnie Coleman? Well, the takeaway is, yes, train hard. Train hard. If you want something, you got to go get it, whether it's financial freedom or whether it's, bodybuilding, or you want to play a sport or an instrument or whatever. Train hard. But don't do things that are questionable, where there's no science to back up that you're going to be okay later on if you do it. You know what I mean? Like you may not be okay taking steroids. You may not be okay. And I've seen people everybody I've heard that took steroids has had problems, and I can do the math for you later, but I won't do it now. But I just want the young children, the young guys that are trying to get into this sport to, slow your roll, train hard, eat right, but stay away from the needle, because you may end up like Brother Ronnie and Brother Flex. And I I don't think either one of those guys would want you to say to end up like that. They can't tell you because they have endorsement deals on the table. So they can't say the stuff openly. I'm going to say it for them. Okay? Anyway, y'all hit me up what y'all think. If you're, like I said, if you're a praying person, pray for Brother Ronnie. Hopefully, something will happen. He'll find some. I heard Joe Rogan trying to put him up on some doctors that might help him with the stem cells and all that. Hopefully, he can get involved with something that'll help him with that pain, man. All right, but y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think.